Today we're starting chapter 6 and we're going to be covering pages 52 through 57, which happens to be the whole chapter. And we're going to be talking about eggs today. So, I'm sure you know this already, but we're just going to go over it again. Eggs are a versatile, nutritious food, and they have about 80 calories per egg, which is pretty good for an egg, for food in general actually, and they're very healthy for you. So when you look at an egg, when you look at the white of an egg, you're going to know that it contains protein, water, and riboflavin. And if you look at the yolk of an egg, it contains fat, which is also cholesterol and then saturated fat. That's what's inside the yolk, along with protein, and it contains most of the vitamins and minerals as far as what's found inside of an egg. So both parts are healthy for you. So we're going to pause the video here and you're going to watch your Edpuzzle assignment, and it's going to be explaining candling eggs. Okay, well hopefully you found candling eggs to be very interesting and fascinating, particularly if you're someone who enjoys eating eggs. So in the video you found out that eggs are observed for their quality by candling, and then based upon their quality they get divided into either A, AA, or B, and then of course A and AA eggs are the kind that we find in the grocery store, and we don't find B eggs at the grocery store. They're not really acceptable for baking, if only because they don't have a perfect appearance. But if you use them, they would be usable, but they don't sell ugly looking things in grocery stores. Okay, so let's talk about egg size. Eggs are sold by weight per dozen, and they come in various sizes. So starting with the smallest, we have the peewee, then the small, then the medium, then the large. And most recipes use large eggs. It's important to recognize that. So when you're making anything involving eggs, you're going to want to get large eggs. Otherwise, the recipe will be thrown off if you use eggs that are too small or eggs that are too big. Okay, so let's pause the video again, because you're going to have another Edpuzzle assignment in which you are going to be learning about how to handle eggs safely, because eggs do harbor the Salmonella bacteria, and you can't really see that bacteria or smell it or taste it, but it is on eggs, so you need to be really careful with how you handle it. So please watch the video and see what you need to see as far as how to handle eggs safely. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to look at for today, one of the last things, because this is going to be a short lecture for today, is how to prepare eggs. And your book goes into several different ways to have hard cooked eggs, baked eggs, fried eggs, poached eggs, omelets, scrambled eggs. But I thought it would be more fun for you if I found a video in which it shows how to prepare eggs instead of just talking about it. I like to watch cooking shows. I think they're soothing, so I hope you guys like to watch them too. Okay, so after you watch that video on Edpuzzle, let's talk a little bit about how eggs are used in recipes. So eggs are used in various ways. They can be used as a binder, which means that they hold two different or more ingredients together. So, for example, you would use an egg and meatloaf to help hold the meat and the crackers and the spices and the tomato paste all together. Eggs can also be used as an emulsifier. So, emulsification is the suspension of one liquid in another. And because egg yolks have something called lecithin in it, it allows eggs to act as an emulsifier. So an example of something that uses eggs as an emulsifier is mayonnaise. And of course, eggs can be used as a garnish. So something like potato salad or green salad would have eggs as a garnish. Eggs also can add volume. So certain foods like angel food cake or cheese souffle, both need beaten egg whites in order to have their the volume they need in the recipe. Eggs can also act as a thickener, which means that certain recipes require eggs in order for the recipe to get the thickened texture it requires. An example of this would be pumpkin pie. Eggs can also act as an egg wash, which means that you mix the egg with a little bit of water or milk, and this gives the egg wash a shiny appearance when you brush it on something like bread or pastry dough. And so then the bread or the pastry dough has that shiny appearance when it's cooked. And then, of course, eggs are a main dish. I'm sure you've all had scrambled eggs or hard-boiled eggs or something like quiche or frittata, and eggs pretty much prominently featured in those recipes. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk about are egg substitutes. So basically, egg substitutes are processed egg products that can be used in the place of fresh eggs, and they're pasteurized, of course. And many of these contain no egg yolk. So the reason somebody might not want egg yolk might be because they're looking to make something cholesterol-free or fat-free, and that they maybe want something lower in calories, for example. So that's why they would remove the egg yolk and just have the egg whites. Egg substitutes are available in many forms, liquid, frozen, and dried. But the thing about egg substitutes is they can be expensive. So if fat and cholesterol are the only reasons for purchasing an egg substitute, it's better to actually just separate the egg whites from the egg, and then that way you can save a little bit of money. But if you just like egg substitutes, then they're on the market for you. All right, well, that is all we have for today as far as this lecture goes. I hope that you found it interesting, and I hope that you found the Edpuzzles interesting. And make sure, as always, with Edpuzzles that you watch them all the way through to the end so you can get credit. Thank you. Bye.